The ANZAC Class frigates are the mainstay of the Royal Australian and Royal New Zealand navies, providing the bulk of the surface fleet for both forces. Based on the German Meko 200 design, the ANZACs were manufactured in Williamstown, Melbourne. These vessels were intended to replace the Australian River-class destroyer escorts, which had been in service since 1961, and the Leander-class frigates operated by the New Zealanders. The 10-ship class were manufactured between 1993 and 2006, with the lead ship, HMAS ANZAC, commissioned in 1996, and the last vessel, Perth, entering service in 2006. The 8 Royal Australian Navy vessels are ANZAC, Arunta, Warramunga, Stuart, Parramatta, Ballarat, Toowoomba, and Perth. The 2 New Zealand vessels are Takaha and Tamana, both of which were commissioned by 1999. The ANZACs are 118 metres long, displace 3,600 tonnes, and have a standard crew of 163, plus 16 aircrew. Their combined diesel or gas engines can propel the ships to a top speed of over 27 knots. Travelling at 18 knots, they have a range of around 6,000 nautical miles, but can be refuelled at sea. They also have hangar space for 1 medium anti-submarine helicopter. At construction, the ANZAC class was very lightly armed. Procured in the wake of the fall of the Berlin Wall, the strategic environment faced by Australia and New Zealand was very benign. The ADF was still in the throes of the Defence of Australia era, a period which saw substantial erosion of Australia's maritime power projection capability in favour of investment in more defensive systems, such as the Collins-class submarine. Consequently, the ANZACs were little more than light patrol frigates upon commission, optimised for peacetime operations such as maritime patrol and exclusive economic zone policing. The design philosophy of fitted for but not with was the foundation of the ANZAC class. In order to reduce the cost of the vessels, space and weight was reserved for more capable weapons, sensors and systems, but these were not installed. At commissioning, the ANZACs had no anti-ship missile capability. Their only capable surface weapon was the 5-inch dual-purpose main gun, which could be used in a basic anti-air role as well as against surface ships and land targets. They were also equipped with a single, tactical-length, 8-cell Mark 41 vertical launch system, although space and weight was reserved for a second 8-cell segment. These 8 cells were loaded with Sea Sparrow missiles, which have a limited range of 15 kilometres, giving the ANZACs a basic point defence capability. The vessels lacked any anti-submarine torpedo tubes during construction, although triple launchers would be fitted after commissioning. And although there was space and weight reserved for a towed array sonar, again, one was not fitted. The ANZACs are equipped with the Australian-designed and made Saab 9LV combat system, which integrates information from the vessel's sensors and coordinates its weapon systems. At launch, the ships fielded the SPS-49V8, a 2-dimensional, long-range air search radar, and 1 mechanical missile illuminator. Her sonar suite only consisted of the Spherion B hull-mounted sonar, which, although a capable system, was limited by the noise of the ship itself, which reduces its sensitivity compared to towed arrays. This was, all told, a very basic fit-out for a modern warship. The inadequacy of this armament was quickly realised by the Royal Australian Navy. Although the original design was perfectly adequate for patrolling the safe waters close to home, with Australia's contribution to the global war on terror, ANZACs were routinely deployed to the Persian Gulf, where the anti-ship missile threat was substantial. This threat posed a severe risk to these vessels, which had precious little capability to defend themselves. Additionally, the threat of surface ship combat in the theatre was much higher. From 2005 onwards, all Australian ANZACs were equipped with dual-mounted quad anti-ship missile launchers, housing the Harpoon Block 2. Although the Harpoon was a dated design, the ability to launch a volley of 8 missiles, more than enough to swamp the defences of even advanced warships, gave the ANZACs a potent anti-ship capability. But the largest modifications were in the area of air defence. The Sea Sparrows were replaced with the Evolved Sea Sparrow Missile, or ESSM, which is a much more effective air defence weapon. ESSMs have a range in excess of 50 kilometres, and are far better suited to shooting down anti-ship missiles. Critically, they can be quad-packed into a Mark 41 VLS, fitting 4 missiles into every cell, providing a magazine capacity of 32 missiles. The introduction of ESSM was a quantum leap in the ANZAC's ability to not only defend itself from missile attack, but even provide area defense. However, the mechanically scanned SPS-49 search radar severely limited the ESSM's ability to rapidly engage incoming missiles, which could both be at supersonic speed and low altitude. To address this shortcoming, the RAN supplemented and then replaced the SPS-49 with the Australian-designed and manufactured CFAR Active Electronically Scanned Array, or AESA, radar. AESAs are far more capable than mechanically scanned arrays. They electronically steer the radar beam rather than turning the whole radar itself, allowing for exceptionally fast scan rates. The individual CFAR radar panels are placed in an array covering 360 degrees around the ship, where they constantly scan the airspace surrounding ANZAC. Additionally, they provide target detection and track in 3 dimensions, rather than simply distance and bearing. Originally, only a short-range CFAR radar was installed, operating in the X-band, which complemented the long-range SPS-49. However, from 2017, the ANZAC class have been upgraded with the long-range CFAR-2 L-band AESA radar, giving them comparable radar performance to the Aegis-equipped Hobart class. CFAR-2 will be the primary radar equipped on the ANZAC's replacement, the Hunter class. Additionally, the Australian ships are now equipped with the Seamount X-band missile illuminator, which can guide multiple air defense missiles simultaneously, and the Vampire NG infrared search and track system. The combination of ESSM, CFAR, Seamount, and the upgraded Saab 9LV Mark III combat system provide the ANZAC class with a truly formidable short to medium range air defense capability. ANZAC can now be confident in her ability to engage multiple supersonic anti-ship missiles simultaneously. Indeed, she can now not only defend herself, but provide area air defense for other warships. Finally, the Australian vessel's anti-submarine warfare capability has also been upgraded. They are now equipped with the MU-90 impact torpedo and, critically, the MH-60 Romeo Seahawk. Although they still feel the lack of a towed array sonar, which can now not be equipped because there is no longer sufficient weight reserved for such a system, the Romeo Seahawk, equipped with a dipping sonar, vastly increases the threat ANZAC poses to submerged foes. With the addition of anti-ship missiles, ESSM, AESA radars, and the MH-60R, the Australian ANZACs are now truly capable warships, equipped for engaging in high-intensity warfare against capable adversaries. Indeed, they are now the warships they, arguably, should have been at their commission. The Royal New Zealand Navy have also embarked on a steady upgrade program for Te Kaha and Te Mana, although this is far less ambitious and expensive than the Australian editions. These vessels were relatively quickly upgraded with the Phalanx close-in weapon system, substantially improving their anti-ship missile defense. Far more importantly, however, was the addition of the Sea Captor surface-to-air missile system, which replaced Sea Sparrow. Much like ESSM, Sea Captor can be quad-packed into the Mark 41 VLS, although it has roughly half the effective range. Sea Captor will be cued by a new 3-dimensional search radar, the Thales Smart S, which will replace the SPS-49. The combat system is also being upgraded to the CMS 330 standard, as used in the Canadian Halifax Class Frigates. Wellington plans to replace the ANZAC class with an undecided vessel sometime after 2030. Although neutered at birth, the ANZAC Class Frigates have proven to be dependable and capable warships. The versatility of the MECO 200 design has allowed them to grow into able warfighting platforms. There is, however, only so much which can be done with a vessel of this size. Additional systems cost weight, which pushes upon buoyancy and stability limits. The Australian ANZACs will be replaced by the far more capable 8,800-ton Hunter-class frigate, an Australian derivative of the Type 26 Global Combat Ship. Literally twice the size of the ANZAC class, and equipped with the Aegis combat system, a 32-cell Mark 41 vertical launch system, and a low-frequency active variable depth sonar, Hunter will be far more capable in every domain of warfare. But until HMAS Perth is decommissioned sometime in the late 2030s, the venerable ANZACs will not only form the backbone of both Australia and New Zealand's surface fleet, but also their shared commitment to regional peace and security. They are, indeed, worthy holders of the hallowed ANZAC name.